Live on the OxFit podcast. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I'm having an awesome week so far. This week on, what do we call it? Guess what noise is in Ant's backyard? We've got power washing today. So if you hear that, let me know. If you're enjoying the beautiful sound of the power washer, then enjoy yourself. It's a little bit better than last week. The leaf blower last week was insane. But like I said, it's all just part of it, right? It's all a great show of no matter what's going on, you go and you work and you get through it. So I want to start this episode with we are getting very close to Deca Atlas and Deca Strong. It's coming up. I'm going to keep putting out more and more stuff about it here. So to start off with, let's just watch it. Let's watch the action. If this doesn't get you hype, nothing will. Oh, yeah. Grab yourself a partner. If you need a partner, let me know. And at Ox.fit. I'll hook you up with somebody that you want to go with. Or if we can't find anybody, I'll do it with you, right? It's the best. The Deca Strong is the best. It's coming up. Comment if you've already signed up. Let me know. I know Bailey. Good morning, Bailey. I know Bailey's doing it. Bailey and Cam. They think they're going to whoop everybody. So if you think you could take them two on, let me know. But it's not about that, right? Unless you want it to be about that. Who else is here? Good morning, Keith. Keith, you got a partner yet? And then which one are you doing? Let me know which one are you doing. Are you doing Atlas? Are you doing Strong? What are you doing? Hi, Nick. Good morning. International sign for good morning. And then OxFit Nation's in the chat. Morning, OxFit Nation. Who are you, you little secretive person? All right. Oh, Lollipop. Good morning. Oh, Beefy. Morning. 2 mornings. Jesus. Look at you guys today. All right. Drop a comment. What you signed up for? I want to know before I get into this. Lauren is signed up. Liz, Leo, and I are throwing down. I don't think she means my Leo. I think she means Liz, Leon, and Lauren. I don't know why you have to say both names, but she's saying them. Liz Leon and Lauren Oxley. Shit, you want to take them on? You want to? Anybody up for that challenge? I don't know. I think I could take them. So what are we doing this morning? What's going on? We have so many people starting new programs right now, and it's such an exciting time of year. We're like a few months away from summer. There's like a focus and a determination in the gym that is just, you can feel it when you come in. Everyone's training for something. Everybody wants to get strong. Some people are doing triathlon. Already started that kind of prep with Lauren on a Sundays. We got Beefy's Lifting Club, which is blowing up. If you want to get strong, just know that Beefy's going to go and do the Arnold next year. So you got a whole year to get strong as hell. And then we've got the Beach Brawl program that's rocking and rolling for the fall. So we got a bunch of people training for some stuff. Got a bunch of people that's just started. I'm on week 2 of my program. And so I want today to talk about just like where that program starts, basically, and what it means to join the program and why this program even exists. So, if you're down for that, then let's get into it. What did Lauren say? It's Maycember or Mayuary. It's more like January, isn't it? Because in December, people are not doing that. Call it Mayuary. Mayuary resolutions are going down. All right. Oh, Carlos in the house. Good morning. Look at you guys. You guys just on the podcast, sitting at your computer. I hope you're standing at your computers. Throw me a hand if you're standing up at a computer. I want to know who's standing. But anyway, we're 5 minutes in. So as Beefy says, let's get to work. Let's go. What are we stalling for? So what I want to talk to you about. All right, so we created the Ox 100 program. Why did we create the Ox 100 program? Who is it designed for? What is it designed for? The Ox 100 program is designed for people that want to win. The eternal optimist, right? If you think you're destined to fail or lose or not reach your goals, then you won't make it to the end of our Ox 100 program because the program is really hard. Now, I don't care if you've tried a program like ours 1,000 times before. Only you know if you gave it 100%, right? We built a program that works. Why does it work? Everything that we're going to tell you, you can find somewhere online, but it's all about making a commitment and going after something and then having the accountability and the structures built behind it that keep you on track. So let me tell you about my program. I started doing this. I started working in mental health. And no matter how hard I tried to work with people that were struggling, I couldn't get them out of the situation that they were in. I would meet with them in coffee shops. We would sit down in these quiet meeting rooms. They would come and meet. And I was the psychologist, and my job was to try and help you feel better. And I used to say questions like, how's your mental health? And how are you feeling? And all this stuff. And it would be so separate from how your physical health was. Stress is the number one killer worldwide. How you cognitively interpret, internalize, and rationalize the world around you is the number one factor in how long you're going to live. It's not your diet, it's not smoking, it's not drinking, it's not even working out. Scientists look at places they call the blue zones. And I think that's so overrated because do you know where the blue zones are? Okinawa in Japan, Icaria in Greece, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya in Costa Rica, and some tiny little town called Loma Linda in the USA. Now, what have these places got? Okinawa, for example, they've got powerful social network, lifelong circles of friends. Okinawas have a strong sense of purpose and a driving force that I don't even want to pronounce things because I'm going to get it wrong, but they have a driving force in their culture. They have a term that they say, once we meet, we're brothers and sisters. That highlights the community bond that they've got in their cultures. What about Greece? An isolated culture that's rich in tradition, family values. They enjoy red wine. They play late night dominoes, and they have a really relaxed pace of life where they don't even have a watch. They ignore clocks. Every day they walk outside, they've got clean air, warm breezes, and just a rugged natural terrain that they have to walk over. Their island is known as the Island of Freedom. They have a term that they use that's called hard work with no ambition, a slow pace of life. In this little island in Greece, they say true happiness is to have no ambition and to work like a horse as if you had every ambition. To realize that in your heart, life has accomplished its final miracle. So just Existing every day and working hard is where you're going to find reward. Complete opposite of the cultures that we live in. All of these cultures are like that in these so-called blue zones. So when scientists come back from these blue zones, they talk about food. They talk about what you're supposed to eat. They give you a list of foods that they eat. That doesn't even make any sense, right? I've started to resent the word community because everywhere you see in America, like if you stand next to someone, if there's two people standing next to someone for 5 minutes, they call that a community now. But these places, these villages that they talk about in these blue zones, they've got a real connection that goes beyond names. They value friendship and they make time for each other, not by booking it in the calendar and call it a date night, but it's part of their lifestyle. They take real rest in these communities, not a rest day from the gym, not an active recovery day. These places, they all have in common that they take 24 hours without any technology, not once per week, right? Not even access to their email. More than that, they don't make work the center of their lives and they build work around their life. These places, they spend time outside, not just riding a bike to work at rush hour. Sorry, not just riding an e bike through rush hour traffic. They sit outside a lot. A lot of these countries and places that you go to, see them benches that you see in parks that nobody sits on? Yeah, them benches, people sit there and they read a book sometimes, or they sit and they talk to a friend, not holding their cell phone in their hand and checking in or, you know, randomly listening when it's their turn to speak on this bench, but they actually just don't even take their phone sometimes and they sit and they talk. These cultures, they enjoy food. They have traditional foods that they love and they appreciate. Not a traditional feast every quarter that is built around how much chocolate you can buy, or the goal is to have as much food on the table until you pass out. Instead, they've got like a daily ritual to their meals where they mindfully replenish their bodies. And the red wine that's on the table is there as part of this enjoying fellowship together. And then they play games like dominoes and stuff like that. And they don't just play to win. They might want to win, but they play because it takes it away from watching TV or the latest thing that's on Netflix. These places have a meaning to their lives. They have a sense of purpose. Their goal isn't to make enough money so they can retire and watch daytime TV. In these cultures, they don't want to retire. They want to volunteer. There's an active volunteer part of their community where all the people are brought into the community to help. And they don't just live 10 years longer, they're healthier and they're happier their whole lives. So, what do we take from this, right? What is this blue zone checklist that science puts in front of you? Well, it'll be something like start running, become a vegan, drink red wine every day, eat more cashew nuts, and then have a date night every Wednesday from 7 till 8 p.m. I get it. It's a simple checklist that you can follow. It fits with your current lifestyle. A lot of these places smoke cigarettes. You don't smoke, so you can just replace the beer and red wine to help you sleep, and then you'll feel a lot better, right? So if I just don't drink beer now, just drink red wine. It's got antioxidants in it. I'll be good. You hate running, but at least you can go outside and walk faster, put on a weight vest, walk around the neighborhood. That'll make it look even cooler. That bag of salmon is super cheap at Costco. So checklist done. I can just go to Costco, bulk salmon, got it. That's what they eat a lot of fish by the coast. These places by the coast. So the bulk bag of salmon, ooh, check it off the list. They eat a lot of nuts and stuff there. So, well, instead of peanut butter, I'll just grab some almond butter or something like that. And we'll just pretend it's cashews because that's close enough. Oh, every Wednesday, the boss takes his kids to soccer practice. So I can sneak out and have a date with my wife for an hour. Not every week, obviously. This is not a romantic movie. This is real life. But maybe once a month. Dang, I'm going to live to 100. I've checked off the Blue Zone checklist. Well, what have you missed here? Well, if you look at the current culture that we live in. What you've missed there is if you don't kill yourself, type 2 diabetes will. Or you'll live to 100, but for the last 20 to 30 years of that, you'll be sick and alone. We're really good at keeping you alive and sick. The checklist to master to really live in these blue zones areas, not quite as simple. So let's look at it from a better perspective. What would number one be? What do they do in these cultures? Well, they work on something meaningful and fulfilling. That's a huge, huge question, right? How do I get to do that every day? What does that look like? That's something that you need a coach for. That's something you need to break down with a coach. That's something I love talking about with people. That's something we get to as we work through these simple fitness, lifestyle, nutrition things. That's eventually where we end up, right? What do you want to work on every day? What fulfills you? How do you become a better dad, husband, father? How do you become better at work? How do you become a better athlete? All them things are in there. And we get to all that stuff because as you become better at this day to day stuff, that's eventually where you end up. What else do? They invest in their close friends and their family. They know that that time is never time wasted, right? They build real connections and relationships. And if you don't actively do that, if you just constantly stare at your cell phone, if you live in the digital world, it's not a great place. You don't feel better. You don't feel happier. And studies and science, if that's where you're at, if that's where you like to go, they don't dispute that. It's very, very clear. Food, it's a fuel, it's a resource. We want to get better at eating so we can fuel what we want to do with our day. We want to feel better. But also, these places, they make mealtime special and daily habits around food and cooking it together and eating it together and having conversations and making mealtime special is something that they do. The next thing they do is they build rest into their lives. Now, that's a lot simpler, you would think, when you live in Sardinia or you live off the coast of Greece. But how do you do that every day? What are the ways that you can do that? And the way that we start with this challenge when you're working with a coach is I just want you to build some rest in to start your day, a little better mindset routine. Or what day are you away from your phone? What day are you away from technology? What day are you completely taken off from working out? I tell people all the time a beer tastes better after a 5K. A shower feels amazing after a mud race, right? That chocolate tastes better after a week of eating your macros perfectly and nailing down your nutrition. How you build rest into your life is really important. Then we want to be relentlessly present. These places, they're present. They live in the moment. They don't keep pushing to get to this end goal. Like I said, they don't want to retire. They want to build a life where they're healthy, they're happy, and they're harder to kill. Your life is happening right now. You need to take control of the things that you can take control of. And that's what our Ox 100 program is designed to do. It's not your fault the food's a science experiment. It's not your fault that the news is so negative. It's not your fault that the algorithm that you're in is so damn addictive. It is not your fault that porn is free and readily accessible on your phone, and there's no way to resist that temptation if it's right in front of your face 24/7. It's not your fault that the pills that you're given from the doctors treat the symptoms and not the underlying cause of what is not making you feel good. It is not your fault that the healthcare system keeps you sick. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. No, really listen to me. It's not your fault. The deck is stacked against you. The biggest companies in the world make money off of the things that make you sick, depressed, isolated, and angry. They make money off of that. That's not your fault. You're surrounded by negativity. It's streaming into your wireless headphones, it's transmitted to your TV. Check your phone right now. There's another notification of something to keep you distracted. It's not your fault. Your brain's been completely rewired. You can't focus. You can't find pleasure in the simple things anymore because of all that access to porn. Sex is boring now because you've had all that processed food. Steak, the number one superfood in the world, tastes kind of bland. You always feel tired. Why do you always feel tired? Because you're constantly in that dopamine loop. It's not your fault. You're too busy to work out. Your friends have changed. They don't really want to hang out anymore. But don't worry, because the newest video game just got released and you can go talk to strangers online. It's not your fault that them video games are so good. Your kids are bored. They got iPads for Christmas. Netflix got all their favorite shows on it. They don't want to play with you anymore. They're getting older. You got to go check your email anyway. It's not your fault that all this technology is more entertaining to your children. Now, the only question I have for you is how does all that make you feel? And if it makes you feel fine, there's nothing you can do about it. It's all out of your control, and none of it's your fault, and there's nothing you can do to control that. Then perfect. Stop listening. Turn it off. I don't want to work with you. I can't help you. You've got everything you need right at your fingertips. You're feeling amazing. You're on top of the world. Great. I'd love that for you. Go and enjoy. But if you don't like that, if you're not feeling 100%, if you don't want all them dopamine hits 24/7, and you think you have a choice and you think there's another way, then I can't wait to get started working with you. I've worked with hundreds of clients, right? And I know that there are thousands of genetic factors that can be at play here. But after working for 20 years in this business, I own multiple gyms. I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. I'm convinced that there are only three key factors for men that I work with and athletes that I work with to have a great life. We got to work out and lift weights every single day. My wife tells me, go work out, come back happier. Number two, men do not process sugar very well. Look around the swimming pool. When you go on vacation, you'll see men are not processing sugar and beer very well. There's a beer belly, there's a sugar belly. Men are completely inflamed by sugar. I am a recovering sugar addict. Every day, my brain wants me to go and grab some chocolate, some sugar, drink a beer. Every single day, I'm recovering from being addicted to processed sugar. I know that, and I know that that's the number one factor keeping me from my next level of goals. The third thing is men have to do something fulfilling or they have to have a hobby that brings them alive. If you can't do your work as your hobby like I can, then you better be using that time outside of the gym to have a hobby or a goal. For my dad, it was riding his bike. For some men, it's going and playing golf. For other men, it's building motorcycles. It's getting their hands dirty. It's getting outside. But you got to have things that bring you alive like that. What does it mean to be fit? It means that you are of a suitable quality and standard to meet the required purpose. You're in good health because of regular physical exercise and regular habits. I want you to be fit. I want you to be in the best shape of your life, but I also want you to just feel amazing. I want you to wake up every day healthy and happy. And I want you to be the man, the athlete, the husband, and the father that you were supposed to be. I know that men are logical. The rate of suicide in men is dramatically high. Because when a man makes a decision that their life is not worth living anymore, they commit to that decision. They don't ask for help. They don't want attention. They've just decided that other people would be happier if they didn't exist. And none of that is true. We need you. We need the best version of you. And while it might seem unattainable to you right now, it's really simple to get there. It's not going to be easy, but it's very simple. You got to start living and eating clean. You got to work out every day. If you can, find a group of people to work out with that have the same goals and the same aspirations of you. If not, just get around a bunch of people that are working out really friggin' hard and doing really hard things. Be mindful every day about what content you consume. If it's negative, stop. Stop taking in that negative content, take in some positive content. You got to be improving at something every day. Just one little step better every day. And I don't care what that is, but as a man, as an athlete, you have to be getting better every day. If you don't see yourself getting better every day at something, then you don't feel competent. And then that's when you can start to get in a negative feedback loop. It's really difficult in 2026 to connect with people. That's why I say go do something hard, go find people that are doing hard things because naturally you connect. Men don't do good doing things face to face. Go find a way to do things side to side with somebody. Run clubs, gyms, uh, woodworking, working with your hands, pickleball, golf. Go find something that maybe you don't love, but you need that human connection. Just being online is not going to cut it. If you need a coach, which everybody needs a coach, I have 3 coaches in my life. I have a business coach, I have my life coach, I have my fitness coach, right? If you need a coach, I would love to coach you. If you want to feel 100% again, Ant at Ox.fit and let's get started. Don't let it go another day. Don't say, oh, I should have started in May, or I should have started in January, I should have started before the summer, or I should have started last year. Let's get started today and let's change your life with 5 simple, simple, but not easy habits that you have control of. Day 1 or one day, it's all up to you. And I would love, love to be your coach. Let me know what stood out about that for you. Let me know where you notice what's your number one habit. What is the thing that brings you alive? How do you live like this? What is it that you struggle with, right? Like I told you, like my biggest things that I struggle with is being present because I've always wanted the next thing. I remember hating high school because I was ready to get to college. I wanted to get done with college so I could go and be a professional athlete. And I just kept rushing my life away. And then the pandemic was the first time I really slowed down and started being present. And I don't want to go back to that other way. I still have goals, I still have dreams, I still have aspirations, but I don't want to miss being present. And then I'm completely addicted to sugar, right? Like I have a sweet tooth and I'm addicted. And the more I accept that and the more I understand that, the more I can work through it. And my wife is a sugar addict too. So we don't do well. We're all or nothing when it comes to stuff like that. And I know that I can't have a phone with all the social media apps. So I have a work phone with all the social media, and then I have my phone, which I also have a cover on it. And I still keep saying it, but I want a charger at the front of the house. So I don't touch my phone until it's time to go out the house or it's time to start work. What is it for you? What do you struggle with? What out of them 5 simple but not easy habits do you need to focus on this first 30 days? And how do they change? One thing that I've noticed I've been working with some people for a week now. And you would think after a week, you're not going to notice any difference. And they send me like progress pics. And they haven't really lost any weight. It's only been a week, a couple of pounds, maybe a little bit of water weight. But there's a difference in how they look. And yeah, less inflammation a little bit. But there's a different look in their eye. You know you're not allowed on that couch. You know you're not allowed on that couch. When I get off of this podcast, you're in trouble, boy. But yeah, he just wants to be on the podcast, I guess. He knew you guys needed to see him. It's a different look in their eyes. And it's hard to explain, but it's like they're training for something and they're focused on something. And I tell people all the time, when I come back off a vacation or I've been in a bad stretch of where I've been eating whatever I want, drinking whatever I want, and not focused on a goal, I don't feel sore and I just feel kind of like, ugh. But when I'm training for something, it doesn't matter if I'm not at my goal. If I feel sore or I feel like I'm on path, there's a difference, right? And that's what it's all about. It's like you might not be at your goals and you might not be there yet, but you know when you're on the right track. And that's what happens when you start working with a coach. This is what happens when you invest in yourself. I could say I want to open a business and I want to do all these things, but until I sign a lease, until I hire a business coach, until I buy into it, I'm not doing it. That $20, $30 gym membership, you haven't started training. Even at $200 a month, you haven't started training yet. You go hire a coach. You go invest. You go spend some money that forces you into that, then you'll know. You'll feel different every day when you wake up. And once you get a really good coach that checks in and holds you accountable, that's when things start to change. Hey, Nick, this dog has multiple couches, a dog bed, our bed, the kids' bed. This is the couch the one couch that the dog doesn't get to go on. All right. That's a wrap, folks. 32 minutes. I went hard on you this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some of it sunk in. If you need me, you know where to find me. If you're struggling right now, either message me, email me, or if you need to, there's a phone number, 988, to help any man or anybody that needs to call it. And don't forget to sign up for DECA. If you need a partner, let me know. I will get you a partner. If you want to do Atlas, let me know, and I will help you train for it. If you are ready for Hero Week, make sure you sign up, get your t-shirt, limited edition Hero Week shirt. I'm really excited about Hero Week. The way we're going to dedicate it to the Army, the Marines, the teachers, nurses. We're going to have a whole setup each day. And we're going to try and do it where you get a cumulative time, which I've wanted to do for a while. So Coach Sav's working on that right now. Have a great Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed the workouts this week. Man, you guys have been crushing that barbell, and I will see you in the gym. Hope the noise wasn't too much.